Oh gosh, my face is all red. Hi, I'm Aura. I'm the host of Collective Mind, that's better. And it's an overdue live stream. It might not be a super long one. It's a little bit late. Although we haven't been going to bed very early, so who knows. Just depends how we feel and stuff. Hi, Ellie. How are you? Hi, Kai. How's everybody doing? And can you hear me okay and stuff? Are you nocturnal now, Ellie? Or have you been for a while? I can't remember. Yeah, okay. We often have stretches where we're nocturnal too, but we've been trying really hard not to get stuck there again because it's really hard to get back out of it, and we think we do better when we have a more traditional human sleep schedule. Not sure why. It's also just helpful for like doctor's appointments and grocery shopping and stuff, but yeah. You definitely don't have to talk about anything you don't want to, Kai. We've been struggling a decent amount lately too. Haven't felt very good and low energy and stuff, and also just generally a bad time of year for us. What we usually do when we're trying to fix our sleep schedule and it's off by that much is we try to stay up like an hour later every night, because it's easier for us to control how late we stay up than trying to fall asleep earlier. And then we can push it like all the way around to the other side again. I'm on the light blue on the blanket now. I don't think I was there yet last time I did a knitting stream. Which means I only have a couple of colors left. Might actually just be 2 more after this. Yeah, I think it's just the purple and the pink after this. We've also been having trouble filming to stay ahead of schedule, so we actually don't have any videos ready now, and we've been trying to upload every Monday. But I just remembered that I still have the clips from when we went to the aquarium and did like vlog type stuff, so I might try to put that together for Monday. But we'll see if we are able to film anything else. If it is the vlog for Monday, my goal would be to film another video for like Thursday, because I guess the vlog doesn't feel like a real video to some extent, so I don't really want it to be the only video that week. Yeah, lately especially, we've really only had success with that one method of fixing our sleep schedule, which takes a long time. The one that I said earlier about just staying up ideally an hour later every night. We also partly did it that way because we have meds that we have to take at the same time every day, and shifting that schedule should happen slowly ideally, so yeah, if it ends up being the only video, that would be okay, but I'm hoping it won't be. As far as why we picked up knitting as a hobby, both of our grandparents knit, and they both kind of taught us different things that they knew about knitting. And we originally learned from them and then just kind of kept practicing for a while. And something about it is really relaxing and like comfortingly monotonous, I guess. So it's also a really nice thing to do while we're doing something else, so that it uses up just that tiny bit more of our attention to like be better distracted. So if we're watching TV or listening to an audiobook or listening to a textbook or that kind of thing, we're doing a live stream, we'll knit at the same time, and it will like help keep us grounded and focused on what we're doing. Yeah, we have one medication that we have to try to take at the same time every day. So if we have to change what time that is for whatever reason, we try to do it really slowly. But then we have a different one that we have to take twice a day, and we have to try to spread it out as close to 12 hours as possible. Like 10 to 12 hours is what they said. So accomplishing both of those things with a fluctuating sleep schedule is hard sometimes. The twice a day one gets missed, like one of those 2 times very regularly, unfortunately. Because if we sleep in too late, we can't take it when we get up and then still take it that night without changing our sleep schedule a lot. And the timing of the other medication, that has to be at the same time, so it has like a ripple effect. The other thing for filming is I probably need to wait on the idea that I had for the very next video and pick one of the other ideas that someone else could film, because the video we were hoping to do next, the person who wants to do that video has been having a hard time lately, so instead of waiting for them to be able to film, it might make more sense to like just have me film something. Or literally anyone else who's in a good place for it. Yeah, the one that we have to take twice a day is for POTS, so it like affects our heart rate and stuff, and I think taking both of those doses too close together, or especially at the same time, could be like dangerous for us, so we're really careful about not taking too much of it. Yeah, derealizing at work sucks. I also want to start working on the next like compilation video for when we reach 250 subscribers, because we're at like 242 last I checked, so we're getting pretty close. I've definitely heard of that happening, where if someone is like co-conscious or co-fronting especially, that one of the alters feels more in control of a specific like arm or something. The biggest thing that'll happen for us, I think, is sometimes one of the alters who's really close inside is essentially doing the talking, but there's a different alter who feels further in the front, like physically, if that makes sense. So that happens a lot with Jayden especially, is like, say I'm fronting and Jayden will get really close, they'll be choosing the words, and it's not really like I'm checking with them of what they want to say first, if they're close enough for what I'm describing. It's more like they're talking with my voice, but I'm the one like physically more in the body, if that makes sense. Yeah, the day in the life of POTS thing would be really hard, because it would make the most sense to do it on a not great POTS day, but if it's a bad enough POTS day, I just won't like do anything, which also wouldn't like make for a good video. So it'd kind of have to be somewhere in the middle. And realistically, I'd probably just have to have Primal Pack following me with a camera all day. Otherwise, I guess I could, like, try to start filming myself if I feel dizzy but don't immediately pass out, or I could film afterwards and say I just passed out again or whatever. I don't know. Haven't totally worked out the logistics of how I would do that, I guess. I guess, to go back to the question about, like, co-fronting and blurring and stuff, the other big common thing that'll happen with us is there will be a really obvious and prominent, like, maybe this would fall under passive influence, but, like, often an emotional effect from a specific alter, but, like, I might still feel like I'm the one fronting, but have, like, very intense feelings of, like, whatever Jade's emotional reaction is to the current situation, and I might not even feel my emotional reaction by comparison because hers is so much stronger for whatever reason, but without switching. So there can be things like that too, or like if it were Alistair, for instance, I might not feel the emotions that I would have felt under those same conditions without Alistair being there because he's, like, dulling the emotions. So that kind of thing can complicate it a lot, of, like, this reaction that I'm having is Jade's reaction, but I'm still the one fronting. If that makes sense. Yeah, but if I just have Primal Pack follow me around with a camera, they'd have to either just pay really close attention and try to start filming every time something starts happening, and try to figure out, depending on what's happening, if they need to prioritize helping me or filming me. Otherwise, it would just, like, I don't know that we could just film all day, you know? I don't know. Because that'd be, like, a huge file to edit through and stuff. It also might happen kind of naturally at some point in a live stream. If we start having, like, a bad POTS wave, essentially, during a live stream, but don't end the stream right away for whatever reason. Or maybe what we'll end up doing is, like, a compilation video of stuff that gets caught on a live stream, or gets caught while we filmed whatever other video and we save that footage, or whatever. I don't know. The other thing that might make the most sense is to make it attached to a different vlog idea. Like, if the video idea ends up being, like, DID system goes to the zoo with POTS or something, like an idea that we would do anyway, but it ends up being more POTS focused because we ended up having a not as great POTS day or something. I don't know. I'm also not totally comfortable, or, like, I'm not totally sure how comfortable we would be showing a lot of those moments. It would depend on a lot of factors. 'cause like the worst pot symptoms we have on the average day is when we're getting up in the morning. And on a bad day, it just doesn't get better throughout the day. And a lot of times it gets worse toward the end of the day too. I think exhaustion has something to do with it. I don't know. And it would depend on who was fronting and how comfortable they were being on the channel at all, but especially being on the channel in like a more vulnerable situation like that. And sometimes pot symptoms will like trigger us and stuff, so I don't know. Depends on a lot of stuff. Obviously I can't like diagnose you with anything or tell you anything about what your experience is, but I have heard of people discovering their system through like gender identity crises, if that makes sense. Like realizing that sometimes they feel a totally different gender, and then eventually realizing that was because a different alter was close and passively influencing them. But obviously that's not the only way to be gender fluid or anything like that, so are you asking if we cook? Oh, probably, because you said video. We've thought for a while, or like we've talked about Ember doing like a cooking video. He has expressed interest in that before. Just haven't had the right opportunity yet, I think. Looking into like trans content and stuff should have been an earlier sign for me, but I just thought I was trying to be a good ally. But one of my co-hosts at the time was feeling very validated by like watching trans YouTubers and stuff. The other thing I guess I would say, Kai, is that there are a lot of ways, I would argue at least, in which it doesn't hurt to like act as though you're part of a system. There's actually a type of therapy that does like a version of that, essentially, of thinking of yourself as different parts, and it helps with like empathizing with yourself and processing things and stuff. But there are a lot of things of like, it can help you validate yourself in some ways, but there are also some things that you can do that would help if you are part of a system and wouldn't hurt if you're not. Like, you could leave notes for other alters if they exist, and if they answer you, then you know, type thing. As long as you're doing it in a safe way where, like, no one who would potentially react poorly to that information could find it and react poorly because of it, type thing. Or, like, sharing vulnerable information places that it isn't safe to, basically. But, like, using PluralKit on Discord is another thing that I know you're already doing, and is another really good way of, like, you can kind of act like that's the case, and it doesn't do any harm if you find out it's not. So, yeah. Yes, Ember is a boy. And yeah, I think it was probably going to be like a father-son cooking thing with him and Sid. I think that was the plan. We're still in the process of getting our dishwasher replaced, so our kitchen is not, let's say, filmable right now. But that was one of the video ideas that we had for at some point. Yeah, internal family structures therapy. Or internal family system, yeah, you're right. I need to change out the headphones that I'm using to listen to music, because these ones are gonna die. I didn't realize I had been using them for that long already. I used the big ones. There we go. Okay. Still cut right now. Got it. Oh, hey Primalpack. I can BC. I'd need to stop listening to music, but I think you would also be adequately grounding, and you would be able to like do the same thing that the music is doing, basically. Oh gosh, hold on. It's on the wrong speaker. Try now? Cool, okay. I'm gonna unmute you on the stream if that's okay. No, I know. I missed you too. Can I unmute you on the stream? Cool. Onyx is here. I think it's Onyx. I should have checked that first. Timelpack is here.
Yes, Onyx.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm gonna add your name to the stream title.
You don't gotta do that.
I want to.
Yeah, but like, unlike some people, I don't care if I get credit for your shit. You do you.
That's not the only reason I do it. It's also helpful for like me looking through it to be able to find the thing that I'm looking for easier. Like it's a sorting feature for me to some extent too.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
How do I...
How do you what?
I'm trying to figure out how I am making... Sorry, I'm thinking while I'm doing shit.
Is okay.
Adding colors, disposing text.
I can definitely turn Onyx up if you can't hear her well enough.
Oh, sorry, I'm kind of muttering.
I'll turn you up a bit anyway. If the volume is a problem either way for me or Onyx, just let me know.
Ah, that's how that works. Element of proliferation. I'm trying to figure out Path of Exile stuff, but I missed you.
Missed you too.
And I wanted to say hi.
Hi. Oh, you've had lucid dreams about both of you?
That one's at max.
So, just especially now that I'm in this mindset, if I were to view that in like the plural coded way of thinking of that in terms of like system stuff, my brain immediately jumps to what if it wasn't a lucid dream and it was like inside an inner world, because I imagine that could feel somewhat like lucid dreaming, and the few memories that I have of being in our system's inner world I thought were dreams for a long time. So I guess something to think about. Obviously not the only possibility, but since we were talking about it that way already and that's the mindset I was in.
Oh.
You know.
Were you talking to me or the stream, by the
No,
way?
I was talking to the stream.
That's fine. Just
Sorry.
wanted to double check that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure I wasn't just like ignoring you when you were trying to talk to me.
And it was also kind of continuing a conversation that was already going before you joined the stream, I think. So you probably don't have most of the context.
Ah.
Oh.
Ah. Got it.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff that I thought were just like really vivid dreams, in my case at least, turned out to be either inner world experiences or other alters' memories that I caught glimpses of for whatever reason. Like I had been close for part of it, or that memory got leaked to me to some extent, or something like that. But it felt detached from me, so it felt less real and dreamlike. You know?
Uh, 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 huh.
I also definitely see a lot of things as plural that are probably more easily explained by something else, because I just kind of see it everywhere now because I'm thinking about it all the time.
Dang.
So there are a lot of things that like very easily could be explained by things other than being a system that I'll still be like, oh my gosh, they're a system. You know, like music and TV shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like NF and Linkin Park.
Yeah. But my brain just got completely skeptical about like the whole idea of lucid dreaming. You know? Like, what if
Mm-hmm.
all of that's inner world experiences for everyone who has ever had a lucid dream? And, like, is that the most likely option? Probably not. But does it feel interesting and exciting to me? Yeah. Sorry, Onyx. I muted that for the stream, but not for you.
No, that's fine. I don't care. I guess we'll go with that for now.
I still need to check with gatekeepers and stuff if it's okay with everybody for me to talk about one of the main examples of I thought I was dreaming and I was actually in our inner world.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can probably talk about some of it, but we would need to like clarify in advance which details, if any, would be not okay to share publicly.
Mm-hmm. Charlie. Don't do that. Yeah, I know. You're cranky pants now because I didn't let you eat your paw.
Mm.
Leg was the word I was looking for, but my brain wanted to say arm. It's like that's not it's not quite the right word here.
Yeah.
Oops, that's the wrong one.
Well, I guess I'd probably want to make a whole video about that and not really do it in a live stream.
Hmm?
I'm also getting, yeah. Yeah, multiple gatekeepers just confirmed that they would prefer that I not attempt that conversation live, because that way, if I say something and then they determine after the fact, like during editing, that I shouldn't have included that detail, I can still edit it out.
Uh-huh.
And the funny thing in this specific instance is it's the kind of information that I don't really think could be used against us by people outside of our system. So it's more so if it would be sharing something that needs to not be easily findable by certain other people in our system.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Because it's supposed to be a very, very, very difficult to access part of our inner world. And if I made a video just saying, this is how you get to this really difficult to access part of our inner world that has all of this extremely private information, then who knows what would happen.
That's a lot of personal information to just throw out there randomly.
Yeah.
Without, like, taking time to think about it and carefully say shit.
Yeah. There also is the component, too, of, like, we want to make sure nothing is too closely tied to, like, specific trauma information that we're not comfortable sharing, at least right now. Because we're not really sharing trauma information, at least at this stage of our, like, YouTube stuff. we're not really sharing it online, so we would want to make sure that nothing is like too obviously connected to a specific type of trauma or whatever. Or too close to a trigger that somebody could figure out how to trigger us or whatever. That kind of thing.
Definitely have to be careful about stuff. Wait, did I leave that in there? The heck?
And there's a lot of consent involved, so if anybody is like, that information says too much about my trauma, or that information being public would make my job harder for whatever reason, or I don't want people to know that for whatever other reason. So yeah. Yeah, it's a little of both. Ellie, some of it is, like, especially trauma-related stuff is, well, trauma-related stuff is also both, to be fair. But it's definitely some of not essentially going around our amnesia barriers in situations that we aren't ready to go around them. But it's also like any information that we share online that we feel like makes us more vulnerable to mean people online, we don't want to do that. At least we don't currently want to do that, so. Maybe at some point as part of like advocating for stuff, it'll feel like the right time to do that, but we can't take it back once we do, and we're definitely not in that place right now, so. We would want a pretty solid consensus among the alters it would affect before we made a decision like that. No worries, Chris.
Permanently spam. What's the button? Ah, here it is.
I know when I was questioning about system stuff early on, I was really worried about like doing something wrong in such a way that would be offensive to like real systems, quote unquote. And
our real system.
That's why I did air quotes, which is why I said that out loud for your benefit, in case you're not looking at the stream.
I'm not currently because I'm in voice chat with you, but also I'm still gonna say that every time you bring it up, of you are a real system.
But that's why I brought up specifically that like there are a lot of things that that don't cause any harm whether or not you're a system if you're questioning, and figuring out what some of those things are that could help or could just be innocuous otherwise can be really helpful, I think. So yeah. But like one huge example of that is talking to my therapist about it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't like claim definitively that I have DID if I didn't have a diagnosis yet, which now we do. But like there was no good reason to not talk to our therapist who we trust and had been with for a long time already about those things. There were some other alters who felt differently about that at the time, but But the biggest one who wasn't happy about it at the time agrees with the decision now, I think, for the most part. On good days, apparently, is the answer to that. Why are they so close?
Hmm?
Why is Jayden so close?
Maybe they're interested in whatever's being talked about.
Yeah, I guess it's maybe because of what I'm talking about. That would make sense.
Where was I headed with this?
Yeah, that makes sense. The timing worked out where we had actually just started seeing our therapist twice as frequently as before during that time, because it was like right at the start of COVID lockdown and stuff. So we had a bunch of time on our hands, and I think our therapist had more schedule flexibility than normal at the start of that too, because some people didn't want to do virtual. They just were planning on waiting it out because they didn't know how long it was going to be at the time. So, worked out for both of us. And even with twice a week at the time, there was so much going on with us constantly for that first stretch of me learning about system stuff, especially, where I would be like, it's been an hour since our last therapy session ended, and I have like 3 sessions worth of things to talk about now.
Uh-huh.
Nope, that's wrong. This way. There we go.
Huh. This is working surprisingly well. Uh-oh.
we gotta change the thing. There. Sorry.
Huh?
Apologizing to the stream, sorry. That was a slightly rough switch and we weren't sure who was gonna end up out, so we played it safe. We still have chocolate milk over here. That's a pleasant surprise.
They kept forgetting about it because they were doing other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily like Emerald Dofus stuff.
Yeah. That's actually something that'd be worth asking. Would people ever be interested in watching us sometimes play Dofus on our like higher level characters instead of like the main YouTube one? Or would that be confusing? Because I know we showed a little bit of Temporis for the last Temporis.
Yeah, there's gonna be another one soon.
Yeah, so maybe we'll end up showing some of that, but the amount realistically that we're going to be playing that, we wouldn't want to stream that whole time for sure.
Oh, definitely, but like, could stream some of it.
And if we end up playing with other people like we think we're going to, and if we end up on calls and stuff with them, they might not be comfortable being on stream, etc., so.
You don't have to stream sound.
That's true. I could technically just stream my mic and do that.
Uh-huh.
So I guess that would just be if they, for some reason, didn't want their gameplay on our stream.
Or if you didn't want them talking on stream because they might say something or whatever.
Because I think the way that we set up the Dofus window doesn't even show the chat box, so they wouldn't even be able to like type offensive things live on our chat or whatever.
Yeah, I'd be cautious about doing their voice on live stream.
Yeah.
Just because they probably wouldn't match what your channel is.
Yeah.
And safer than sorry.
Yeah.
In those cases.
But I guess hypothetically we could do ludicrously long live streams in that context if we really wanted to.
Uh-huh.
Could do like 10-hour live streams every day for however long Temporis is going.
I don't know. Should be a decent little chunk of time.
Which is the other thing that I think Aura is worried about, is once Temporis starts, we're gonna want to spend so much more time doing that I think she wants to be ahead on videos again before then. Like significantly ahead. And we are not ahead right now.
No, but we could make a plan to like film a couple reaction topic and etc. videos and just like set that aside for like a day plan kind of thing.
Yeah. That looks like it's probably Ashley, but not on Ashley's main account, is it?
Ooh,
Hi, probably Ashley.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm not OP yet. But this is definitely better. Oh, this won't last very long. That's a problem.
No worries about the account, Ashley. It's not a big deal.
It is for them.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh god.
But like if you're
Thanks,
worried for like
monsters.
moderation reasons or anything like that, I'm here obviously, and Onyx is here too, so
Half here.
Onyx is half here, fine. But Onyx is here enough that if we were to start reacting like something that needed moderating was happening in the chat, she could probably jump in and help. I could also give more of your accounts mod privileges if you want. Doesn't really matter to us.
Oh, you're gonna be a mod in stealth now?
Exactly. What if there's a troll? There's 2 other people here who can deal with it.
Oh no, not a troll. Just a troll in the dungeon. Wait, that's me.
What?
That's me, a troll in the dungeon.
Okay.
Oh, you big. Oh wait, no, you went down hard. Never mind.
Yeah, I can't really help with the frustration of it not working the way that it's supposed to work, but I can hopefully help some with any, like, potential, like, guilt over not being here as a moderator, even when you're here to watch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you never have to moderate. Wait, there's another arena?
We also have not had any trolls since that one stream, I don't think.
Yeah, and that wasn't even that bad.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
Well, yeah, obviously, trolls are never fun, but it wasn't that bad.
Oh, thank goodness, now you can moderate.
Yeah, moderate me.
I'm just kidding. It's really not a big deal. Just messing with you. I hope we're close enough for me to mess with you like that. Maybe we're close enough by association because you're close enough to other people in my system. Okay, you messed with me back. It's gotta be fine.
Unless it's not. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, I don't get trolling either. In the same way that I don't get, like, bullying generally. Doesn't make sense to me. I guess maybe there's, like, an adrenaline rush or something, but...
And it's more like positions of power and not being the one on the receiving end of it for once.
Yeah, I guess. Still.
More often than not, like, bullies in school are always the ones that are getting abused at home pretty hard.
Yeah.
So it's their way to, like, make sure nobody fucks with them by, like, taking control.
Ashley says we're the bestest of friends, so it's fine. I paraphrased a bit.
Wow. I can't believe you would say that, Ashley. I thought we were best friends. Man. And I was gonna invite you to my wedding.
Yeah, too bad I'm not getting married.
What do you mean, too bad? We could arrange something.
Who would I marry?
I don't know.
I don't like anybody that much.
Wow, I see how it is. I thought we were friends.
I'm kidding, we're friends.
That
That doesn't mean I want to marry you.
We're not enemies. Wow, you wouldn't marry me in Delphus?
I would marry you in Dofus the same way that I'm comfortable with our bodies being legally married, which is that there are, like, tax benefits and stuff. you know?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad I could be beneficial then to you sometimes.
I didn't know Ashley was your maid of honor.
Yeah,
Cool.
at least that was the plan. We told you. Well, no, we told Aura about that. Never mind.
Aura's pretending to vaguely remember that, but she doesn't actually.
Mm. I mean, who else am I gonna have? I don't really have many friends, and I have even less that I would be comfortable having to the wedding and like being there with me.
And, like, who could realistically, feasibly travel here and such.
I mean, even if it's not realistically feasible.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're scary looking. I don't know what the heck you are. Don't stand in that. Ow, don't stand in that. I'm really good at this game. I am so good at this game. I'm not actually
Sounds
good.
like it.
I lied. I lied. No idea what I'm doing.
Hey, Onyx.
Hmm?
Aura is curious what she would be working on now on the Hupper on Dofus, and if she should just cave and ask for help from, like, some of those other Dofus friends to get through those dungeons we're stuck on.
I mean, getting through those dungeons would be nice for sure. Is this stack? No. Poison does though. Thank you. 1 sec, sorry.
No worries.
Sucker. Not you.
I know. You would come up with a better insult for me.
No.
No?
Nah.
You wouldn't waste the energy on me?
That's not what I said. Whoa.
I'm good at twisting words.
The fuck did you just do? You just dug a hole into that?
No, I didn't.
Why do you look corrupted and weird now?
Oh, because I am.
Not you. So, things to do in Dofus. We could work on a different Dofus quest line. Work on alignment with Bonta.
I guess alignment would make sense.
There's also
Like Pandala quests, probably.
Pandala, Frigost. We could go to some of the dimensions, work on some of the quests and mobs there. Achievements. I mean, you still have a ton to do in the game, and leveling you up is going to be one of the higher priorities currently.
Mm-hmm. So achievement hunting is another one that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Achievement would get you through the leveling up your mount really quick. And some other stuff after that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, increased AoE.
And because our gear set is mostly power focused, it's probably not necessarily like looking forward to one big upgrade where we replace everything, and more so just replacing individual pieces as we level up enough to unlock something better.
Mm-hmm. What? I didn't actually listen. I'm sorry.
I'll say it again in a second. I think there was an app or a website or something where I made my picture, but it was a long time ago and I don't remember. But for a lot of our avatars, we just looked up like avatar makers and stuff online, and then found one that looked good enough, and then picked the like customizations that fit the alter whose avatar we were making. And then for a lot of the less humanoid alters in our system, like Jade's picture is a really good example, we just literally Google image searched like keywords until we found something close enough. And in some cases we couldn't find something that was actually super accurate to what they look like. Like Anna is one of the best examples. So she tried to find something that was close enough to part of what she looks like and like had the right feel to it, I guess.
Oh, whoa.
The thing I said about Dofus Onyx
Mm-hmm.
was because our set is power focused, we probably wouldn't really be looking forward to a specific like level at which we would replace like our whole set. It's probably more so just replacing piece by piece as we unlock something a little bit better for that piece, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Level 151, you're gonna replace most everything.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Level 151 is when you get the Dreller outfit, and those things give like 40 to 50 power each item, and that usually dwarfs whatever you have on currently. Like boots and belt is 50 and 40. I think your current boots are 35 and your belt might be 30 or something like that, or
Okay.
35 and 40. So that's an upgrade there, plus wisdom and a lot of vitality. Weapon, not so much. We could look into like a different weapon for you, but the weapon's not the bigger trade out. The cape and the hat. I don't remember what your current. Oh yeah, your IOP would gives 50 power. We'd be giving you another thing with 50 power, but it also have vitality on it and wisdom. The cape we could trade out. Actually, we could leave your hat alone and just trade out your cape for the other one, because it'll give you an AP, you'll lose an MP, and you'll gain power and vitality.
Okay.
That
So
wouldn't be a bad trade out.
then in that case, the next
and there's two. There's a ring at 150 that gives you 50 power, which is huge.
So then after we finish leveling up our mount, the next like big benchmark is 151.
Roughly, yeah, 150-ish.
Good to know.
The first Ellie amulet can be worn at 20 or 127, which you're almost to, but that amulet is more expensive and hard to get.
Yeah.
The second one is much later.
Gotcha. To answer your question, Ashley, it would depend on their like art style some, and on what types of things they would be willing to make, I guess. Like if they only do more humanoid art, or if they don't do humanoid art or whatever, like that would obviously affect it some. And then there's also a component of we would want to get a pretty good understanding from the beginning of that conversation how easily annoyed they would be if we were pretty picky. Because some of that stuff, like the details, could be complicated to figure out, especially because we have a hard time describing visuals sometimes. So if there were a lot of back and forth of us being like, oh, that's still not quite right, could you try this now? And then they do that, and then it's still not quite right. Like, would that make them hate us and cuss us out, essentially. Because figuring that out from earlier on would help us determine if we were comfortable with that, and beyond whether or not we're comfortable generally, like which type of project would make sense to ask for that kind of help on, because some of them would be a lot simpler and a lot easier to explain than others. Because, like, if we said, can you draw or otherwise create artistically, like a realistic white tiger with black tipped ears, like a cub, that would be easier than to say, so it's a mermaid with fairy wings, and the tail has to look like this, and the wings have to look like this, and the colors have to be like this, and the overall, like, feel of the colors has to be like this, and their face has to look like you get how that's different level of, like, specificity needed, and harder to get, like, reference pictures to show them and stuff. So that would affect a lot, like, which altar's avatar we would ask for help on. Because there are some where it might almost make more sense for us to talk to someone who has some experience with Photoshop to take a picture that we already have that's very close and make minor changes to it. Like, can you change the color of the eyes of this picture, for instance? Or hair color or whatever else. So yeah. We'd definitely be interested in talking to them, though. I guess this didn't end up being as short of a stream as we thought it might be.
That's okay.
The haircut was fine. We didn't love the experience overall. And the actual, like, result of the haircut was fine. The experience was less than fine, but not horrible. That kind of thing. Ended up being a little shorter than we technically asked them to do, and they didn't seem to really know how to brush really long hair without hurting the person whose hair is attached to their head. So it was unnecessarily uncomfortable. We left with shorter hair, which was the primary goal. Which it is a lot easier for us to take care of it now, and we're hoping to dye it soon. We already have the dye and everything that we need for it. We just need to have a day that we are not too low energy and like emotionally stable enough that the idea of trying something for the first time isn't too terrifying. So, because we haven't dyed our own hair before. We got it dyed at a salon last time. But the kind that we got should be pretty foolproof. we're not gonna try to bleach it or anything the first time we do it. And the kind that we got can't stay on for too long. So even if we like take 6 hours to actually rinse it out or something ridiculous, like it's not gonna hurt us or our hair in any way, so we'll see how it goes. But Emily's really excited because it's going to be closer to her hair color inside. And technically a little closer to Natalie's too, although not as dark as hers probably. But that was kind of the goal, was to get somewhere between their two hair colors. Because we're not realistically going to go platinum to match Aura's hair right now. And Anna got to do her style of hair last time, so. And for a lot of the rest of us, we either don't front often enough to really care, or for like our non-human alters who aren't humanoid, it doesn't really matter as much to them because it's not going to be like their hair is no matter what. And then for some of us, like for me, the hair isn't really one of the things that is near the top of my list of bothering me when I'm fronting. So it's not going to make as big of a difference to me if we tried to make the hair match what I look like inside. Yeah. We have a lot of anxiety surrounding it too. It is also definitely expensive to get it done professionally. Depends on where you go and depends what you get done, but expensive no matter what, pretty much. There were also things that were stressful about getting it done professionally, other than, like, on top of the expense of it when we did that last time, because it took a long time. And it, like, we're not very used to masking for longer stretches of time straight anymore. And it's just also a lot of socializing for us. Oh, cool. I'm not sure I knew that that's how you and Onyx met. You and Ashley apparently met when she was giving you advice about your newly dyed hair.
That was when we dyed it blue for the first time. We still love that blue color. It was so good.
I think the brand that we got hair dye from does a similar, like, blue color. If you wanted to do that again sometime. They also do a bunch of other colors, obviously.
We have to bleach our hair. It's too dark, and it doesn't take color if it's dark.
Yeah. Some of your hair is still bleached, though. Because you haven't gotten it cut since then.
But not enough, and I probably should get a haircut.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know anything about dead ends or split ends or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I got raised as a boy, and I didn't get to learn things about hair. Because boys were always supposed to have short hair, which is bullshit. Guys look awesome with long hair.
Mm-hmm. You're also not a guy, so it's doubly bullshit.
I mean, yeah, but like I said, I was raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
Gavrar.
I know.
You're a Gavrar.
I'm just taking the opportunity to validate your gender.
Fuck you, don't validate me.
Too bad.
I don't need your damn validation.
Too bad, I'm throwing it at you anyway.
I validate myself.
Good.
What? That was a lie. Don't just believe me.
Yeah,
Those
we've
long-
had really long hair for a long time, and it's stressful for us every time we get this extreme of a haircut. And so when we were already getting a lot off, and the the person who cut it at the salon took off, like, I think fairly significantly more than we said, because they kept having to even it out again after they had already cut the full amount off, which kept taking more off. So I think it's a couple inches shorter than it was supposed to be. It's stressful. It's hard for us to get used to not being able to play with it all the way down here like normal.
Nothing about you is normal.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Nobody's normal. There is no such thing.
Ashley called you pretty,
Fight me!
and Aura got slightly jealous.
That's cute. I think the hair color that we got the first time, I think that's one of the times we only ever got a picture of Freya when they were feeling just themselves.
Yeah. Aura's still really glad that she got to briefly meet Freya.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley says that you're gonna be tied for prettiest bride at your wedding.
I mean, yeah, of course. I am nowhere near that.
I'm still expecting, whenever that wedding actually happens, for Aura to panic and end up switching with someone else in the middle of the ceremony. And then for whoever that is to have to decide how they're handling it. And I feel
And
like
before it's Jade, and then it's just gonna be Sid switching for us, and be like, oh,
that
guess
would
we're
be
getting
the
married
most
today.
convenient, for sure. I feel like it's like extra likely to be me, which would be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Because my instinct might be to just mask as Aura and just finish the ceremony.
At least
But
tell me.
I would tell you. We would, like, set up a code ahead of time.
Yeah, I also don't consent to, like, kissing you or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Aura's gonna want to do, like, the whole public kiss thing anyway.
Yeah, that's totally okay. I just for sure am not gonna want to do it with you.
No, I know.
You're not my type of person for that. Because you're not Aura.
I wouldn't evade your consent in that way anyway. None of us would without being, like, very badly triggered.
I know, I'm not saying you'd be...
I know. I'm just making sure that you know that we wouldn't trick you into kissing someone other than the person you think you're kissing. Yeah, all of that gender stereotype stuff just seems so weird and stupid to me now. And, like, it seemed totally set in stone and, like, the laws of the universe when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, why does it matter at all?
It really doesn't. It's just people playing politics. And it's stupid every time.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't even know the rules themselves half the time. And they don't have, like, any contingencies or, like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like, they have no idea.
I feel
They're just
like...
as clueless.
Sorry, I was gonna answer a conversation going on in chat.
How dare you?
I
Okay.
feel like we would keep using the term partner systems and then, like, the normal gendered terms and stuff for the specific alters who are in relationships, and then in situations where we're talking about, like, the legal side of it, we would just use spouse or whatever as part of, like, masking.
I'm your spouse.
Oh my god. But there could definitely be uncomfy situations where alters could be fronting who are not in a relationship and who are not the gender that is, like, legally on our paperwork and stuff, and have to, like, talk through legal stuff with somebody and use uncomfortable terms for that context, which is not fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree. It's the stereotypes that I have a problem with. I think gender identity is really important to a lot of people, and it should be treated as important as valid for everybody it's important to, you know? Gender identity stuff.
Uh-huh. Oh.
But, like, the biggest problems that I have with gender roles and gender stereotypes are because they're forced on people, you know?
Uh-huh. Forcing anything is bullshit and stupid.
Mm-hmm. We might be running out of steam
Okay.
for being live.
Okay.
But it was fun conversations and stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out for the surprise stream. Like and subscribe and ring the bell, and links in the description, and eventually links on the screen and stuff. I did it. I did the thing. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.